I remember as a kid sitting in the theater thinking, oh my God, that alien is so ugly and so weird looking. Hey, I'm Randall Park, and I am gonna break down my top 5 Blockbuster movie rentals. So I consider myself an expert when it comes to movie recommendations because I used to work at a video store, a little mom and pop called New Wave Video. It's a neighborhood video rental store. Also, I play a character who owns the last Blockbuster, and that character is a cinephile. I guess that really says nothing about my own personal knowledge of movies. But yeah, maybe I'm not qualified, I don't know. Starting at number 5, Better Luck Tomorrow.
If someone came to us about doing a scam and we didn't like them, we'd just tell them to f*** off. Having that kind of power quickly became an addiction.
The great thing about this movie was that it was about young Asian Americans around my age, but also that they were criminals. And I thought that was so cool because we rarely saw ourselves on screen. And when we did, it was always like either the butt of the joke or just like the side character without much of a story. Hardly ever a bad character that was complex and nuanced and very human. One image stands out to me as John Cho riding in on his motorcycle. I remember watching that and thinking, oh man, he's so cool. I've seen a lot of guys riding in on motorcycles, but never like an Asian dude with sunglasses looking so cool. It first premiered at Sundance, at the Sundance Film Festival. There was a reporter in the audience who stood up and said, how could you make this movie about your people and them be such bad people? How could you do that to your community? Roger Ebert stood up and was like, what are you talking about? This filmmaker can make a film about whoever he wants to as an artist, and the whole room ended up like applauding. I think about that a lot, in part because I just directed a movie, and the protagonist of that movie is a complex character who's not like the nicest person, and he's Asian American. We want to see everything, the whole kind of breadth of humanity, you know, and I think in that sense, Better Luck Tomorrow was ahead of its time.
Do you remember any of the VHS covers?
Yeah, I remember all the VHS covers. Better Luck Tomorrow, it was the whole gang just lined up, looking cool, kind of black and whitish. Number 4, E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Can you say E.T.? E.T.
E.T.
It must have been in elementary school when that movie came out. Like every kid in the country, I was just completely awestruck. I remember as a kid sitting in the theater when E.T. first comes on screen thinking, oh my God, that alien is so ugly and so weird looking. I don't know if I can watch a movie with something so disturbing. And then by the end of that movie being in tears, wishing that I could see more of that alien, wanting to be best friends with E.T. And that's just like the magic of a great movie, you know, that it could actually like open your mind and let you intimately know someone. But as a young kid, I feel like that's a very powerful message. And I feel like we're all, as a culture, very lucky to have had that movie in our lives. It wasn't until I got older that I really got to appreciate just what Steven Spielberg does. Only like a master filmmaker could provide that experience for so many people. The VHS cover, E.T., of course, is a big moon and the bike with E.T. and the little basket up front. Number 3 is Boomerang.
You're the most gorgeous woman I've ever laid my eyes on. I had to come over and meet you.
I'm sorry.
Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry, it's just that, what you said was pretty pathetic.
One of my all-time favorites. You could ask me on another day, it might be number 1, but today It's number 3. I just never seen anything like it. It was just so funny. Some of the characters were so outrageous and absurd, but it all still felt so grounded and real to me. You know, we all grew up with Eddie Murphy. We all loved Eddie Murphy. But I felt like here Eddie Murphy was like, I don't know, there was something very like exciting about seeing Eddie Murphy in this context. It was about these very successful Black business people, you know, in advertising. The world felt so real, and the side characters it just felt so full. And the cast is just bonkers. I mean, you have Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens, Halle Berry in like an early role, Martin Lawrence, David Alan Grier, Grace Jones is in it, Eartha Kitt is in it. I mean, these legends. I mean, one of my favorite characters from that movie was David Alan Grier's character. He's Marcus's friend. He was kind of like a bit more kind of uptight, but his parents in that movie. I remember distinctly the dad, John Witherspoon, when he's like talking about you got to coordinate, and he has like the mushroom belt with the mushroom lining in his jacket. I mean, that's just one of so many scenes. So many scenes in that movie that are just hilarious.
Most people don't coordinate. See, you got to coordinate.
Boomerang was one of the influences of Always Be My Maybe, because Ali Wong and I have been obsessed with Boomerang. We wanted to fill it with really kind of fun characters, and we thought of Boomerang. The VHS cover was Eddie Murphy. If I remember correctly, it was a hand, probably like Robin Givens' hand, like kind of tugging at his tie. Number 2 is The Apartment.
Look, Mr. Vanderhoff, I've got you down here for tonight, but I'm going to be using the place myself, so I'll have to cancel.
Cancel? But it's her birthday. I already ordered the cake.
It is directed by Billy Wilder. I think before The Apartment made like The 7-Year Itch and Some Like It Hot. This movie, I got introduced to it, I believe it was through my mom, who was obsessed with movies in Korea, American movies. And I think I was just watching it with her on the couch. I was pretty young, and the first thing that really caught my attention was New York City and the way it was filmed. Just thinking, oh my gosh, I want to go there. I want to go to New York. It's such a, like, it looks so cool. The Apartment is about this guy played by Jack Lemmon, who's one of my all-time favorite actors. He plays C.C. Baxter. He's basically like works in this office in an attempt to try to be in good standing with his bosses. He lends his apartment to his bosses so that they have a place to conduct their affairs without their wives knowing.
This is your mother's apartment?
That's right.
It's a beautiful film, and it goes to dark places, which I love. It's a comedy, it's fun, but it's also like very real in a lot of ways. And I really like, it blows my mind that back then in 1960 that, you know, they would go there. For some reason, when I think of The Apartment, I can't think of like a specific scene, but I think of a lot of images that have just been seared into my mind from watching it so much. And one of them is just this amazing shot of him at his desk, this like super wide shot of a sea full of desks and all these workers and him just kind of toiling away. I mean, it tells such a story in a single shot. You know, here's a guy, he's just a cog in a machine. The Apartment cover, I believe it was very kind of old school, classic, kind of a cutout of Jack Lemmon kind of looking back, and a lot of words, like, you know, like they do those old classic movies. My number 1 movie, When Harry Met Sally.
Amanda never said how attractive you were.
Well, maybe she doesn't think I'm attractive.
I don't think it's a matter of opinion. Empirically, you are attractive.
The quintessential rom-com. It is also, if not the quintessential New York movie, it's definitely up there as one of the great New York movies. Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, Carrie Fisher, Bruno Kirby. I mean, the entire cast is just so amazing. I have a lot of debates with my wife about chemistry. I always felt that if you have good writing and 2 capable actors, you'll have chemistry.
I thought you didn't believe men and women could be friends.
When did I say that?
On the ride to New York.
No, I never said that. Yes, that's right. They can't be friends.
My wife feels that chemistry is very much a magical thing that just exists between people. I see that spark in the big final scene, you know, and Billy Crystal running to the New Year's Eve party in his like regular clothes while Meg Ryan's in this beautiful gown and Harry delivers this speech.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
And the way she looks at him, the way he looks at her, I mean, it's great acting, but to me it's also, yeah, it's this great chemistry. It's such a wonderful moment, and you know, the best kind of rom-com ending you could imagine.
If they asked me, I could write a book.
And I love the soundtrack. I mean, I became a big Harry Connick Jr. fan after that. And I went to go see Harry Connick Jr. live. That was the first concert I ever went to. I begged my dad to take me to Las Vegas. I got a ticket with my friend who was also big into the movie. My dad drove the two of us to Vegas, checked in the hotel room. We were just kids, went to see this show, and we were just like, this is so cool. That was like our like rock concert, you know? It was like seeing Harry Connick Jr. in Las Vegas. The VHS cover is actually kind of odd in retrospect. It was like Harry on one side, Sally on the other, and I think like a big New York building in the middle. And they're kind of blown up, and I believe like the city's below them. I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. Hey everybody, I hope you had fun. Thank you for hanging out with me. Maybe check out one of these movies I recommended, and make sure you watch Blockbuster on Netflix, streaming right now.